So overall, the episode of My Hero was pretty simple and pretty straightforward. You broke them into like three simple parts. We have the bit with Hawks, the part with Endeavor, and of course the part with Deku. But the episode itself, it starts off or it continues from the little flashback we got after Endeavor defeated Nomu and Dabby appears, and we see how Dabby he came to collect the Nomu, but I'm pretty sure Endeavor destroyed it. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that prominence burn should have like made it, ashes. But if not, regardless, obviously Dobby spotted two top heroes, not in the best shape. And so this man goes in the offensive, but he was stopped by the number three hero. Now, right now, her name escapes me, but I definitely know she's a fan favorite. And so, of course, when the man realizes that he actually has to go against, three heroes, especially when they're the top three, there's no way he can win. So this man retreats. And so he calls for a name, and we see now, with the quirk that the bartenders have, the one that has that uh, teleportation quirk, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't his name, so maybe they just have two users with like a similar quirk, but regardless, he gets out of there, and we learn now that the reason why him and Hawks, met up in the first place is because right now he's undercover, and thank God, because like I said in my last review, I actually like Hawks. To me, his design is like pretty cool, but we see how these two, I guess, higher ups, they actually ordered him to infiltrate and I guess join in a sense the League of Villains, to go undercover. And so we learned, a little bit of his past where when he was a young boy, he actually saved a family from a pretty bad wreck and he wanted to thank him. And we see now that the people that came to express their gratitude, they actually wanted to make him a hero. And even though they didn't confirm in that one scene where we could see him, standing there surrounded by people and in his home, it was kind of a mess. So I'm pretty sure that he didn't have like the best parents. So like the reason why he probably can't say no to them is because he feels so indebted to them for making his life better. So obviously he has no choice but to go through with this. And then we see now how Endeavor, after 2 days of being in the hospital, he actually got to leave. And I'm surprised because, like, in the shape that we saw him in, I'm surprised at how fast he had recovered in 2 days. But regardless, he's now out. And this man actually was able to keep his eye. Because if you look at his scar, it's pretty bad. So I'm actually shocked that he, like, that his eye was able to be saved. Now, I'm not sure if in the manga he did lose it and they just censored it for the anime, but regardless, this man still has it. And we see now that when he went home, his kids were there to celebrate his recovery. And then we get a little funny scene where we see Erasure. He had boy Shoto there, and we see now this cat just hissing at him. Obviously, I'm not liking him, and I found that kind of hilarious. But regardless, we see that even though his family had came to have a meal together, Natsu, his son, this man cannot forgive him for all that he done. Neglecting them, keeping Shoto from them, and pushing his mother, over the edge. This man cannot forgive us so easily, even though Endeavor is clearly, trying to change. And so, Natsu storms out, and honestly, you can't blame him, but I definitely can see that Endeavor is, trying to change and be a better person, and even Shoto, recognizes that, because even though, Endeavor as a hero is amazing, when people, really know him, they still see him as a monster, but Shoto is willing to give him a chance because he knows that, this right here, it's a small start, but it can definitely cause change in a person. And then we go to the TV where people were talking about his fight with the Nomu, and some of you guys are just so clueless because this Nomu was on a whole different scale compared to any of them that we've seen before. Because if a Nomu can actually push a hero like this, and this is now the number one hero to his absolute limit like this, then you know that these villains are going to be, stronger and better from here on. But regardless, the opinion of him are changing. People are definitely starting to, to like him more. And they even use that kid that was his fan as a little fanboy because we actually learned now that they actually using him as I think the nickname he gave him was the look boy, but they actually like made merch of him for like shirts and mugs. I found that hilarious. But regardless, it's definitely nice to see Endeavor, like trying to be a better person. Like personally for me in this episode, I liked the like to me it was definitely, my favorite part, him with his family. Because I was definitely like more interested in it. Because after that we go to Deku, and I feel like that we already seen it before. Like I'm pretty sure that we all know the backstory. How the One for All, came to be, but we just got more context. So I was definitely more intrigued by the Endeavor and family stuff because even afterwards, after it was all said and done, we see him go outside to talk to his son, but unfortunately, we have no idea what they said to one another because it cuts to Deku. Now I get it's this show, so of course the attention going to be on him, but I definitely wish that we could have saw what they were talking about, and maybe we will at some point because they can always, just cut back to it. Because I'm pretty sure this part here is going to be pretty big because, like, maybe as the series goes on, even though right now, Natsu and Shoto can't forgive him, so easy like his daughter can, I'm pretty sure that might change. And they also hinted at another child of his, I think his name was like Toya, and apparently he was their like older brother, but he's clearly not there. So something happened to him, but they did not say what that was. So that's like another thing that they probably have to address because it's still like weighing on his son's mind. Even though Shoto is now around them and their mom is still getting better, there is still problems that they have to work through before they could be a real family. And also, I give his daughter props because she is still trying to do her best to hold everyone together because she can see how Endeavor is trying to change because he's changing, trying to be a better person, and their mom is getting better. And like I said, Shoto is now around them as well. So, like maybe that they really can be a family at the end, at the end of all this. But going back to Deku now, we see that he was like training to, learn how to control One for All better, but he is still at only 20%. And when this man passed out, go to sleep, and he has a dream, we see the previous user a lot better. Like obviously we already knew about the original user of it and All Might Teacher, but we clearly see the previous user of it, even though that even if we don't know their name. But once again, we get the flashback of One for All, starting with his powers, and we see how this man already has some underlings because we saw how one dude, he was a nice guy and he even took care of his parents, but this man was looked at as a freak just because he had a quirk that gave him these fangs and it kind of like made his jaw look a little funny. And then we go to another dude that was actually jumped by, a bunch of quirk users, so this man clearly has hatred for him. And we see now how One for All takes away that one guy's quirk, but he gives the quirk to the other dude. So I thought what I thought he might do, was just transfer them, making that dude quirkless while giving him that jaw quirk. But instead, he gave him some weird drill quirk that just like may have these horns and drills all along his body. And to me, that was like kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie. But we see how One for All boy that kid was his brother, and we see how he pretty much made him a prisoner, but he was not eating, and we all knew how he already had this weak constitution. So at first, him not eating, he became weaker and weaker, and so eventually we see how One for All was like getting this army, how all the people were like following him, to make their dreams come true. And of course, there were some people that either wanted, to stop him or, take him out to replace him. And, and he had these followers that would actually go as far as to take them out for him without him even have to to give him like any kind of order. They would just do it to make him happy or to protect him. And so we see now how to him this kind of resonated with him because it reminded him of a story that he read with his brother when they were younger. But the little brother, reminded him how he only read to like volume 3, and in the end, the evil demon lord was defeated. And so eventually, when One for All realized, when he realized that his brother will not join him willingly, he kind of forces, a quirk on him, and that's how we all know, and that's how we know how the One for All came to be. And so then we see how the flashback ends, and we see how the OG user, he was saying how he wanted to show him more, but because he only had 20%, I guess that's all he can see for now, which is still kind of weird. Like I said, like I'm pretty sure that they are definitely going to expand on this because right now they are starting on this really early, but we already know that the quirk is changing inside of him. We just have no idea how. Because in a preview, even Deku is kind of confused as to like what's going on. So hopefully All Might can like give him some answers about this because like I'm definitely interested, but I also want them to go back and focus on Endeavor. Like I keep going back on that, but like I said, like right now Endeavor is definitely growing me as a character, so I definitely want to see where he goes. But of course, with him now being the number one, there is no way that they'll just ignore him. But overall, a good episode. Pretty simple. It definitely got me interested in some characters. I do want to see where Deku, goes with this, with his quirk, and hopefully Hawks will not get caught. Because if he does, I do fear, that he might be killed. Because right now he wants to meet the leader of the League of Villains, and so I'm pretty sure if they find out, that he's a snitch, a spy, that they definitely won't hesitate to kill him because we already saw Dobby. He killed that one hero, Snatch, and so with this man surrounded by villains, if that does happen, I'm pretty sure that they won't, hesitate to kill him. But as always, let me know what you guys' thoughts were. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, you gotta take it easy. I will see you all next time.